Dominic purchased his first home in October 2020 for about $200,000. He previously rented it while attending nearby Stockton University.
I did not want to pay over $1,200 a month to live on campus, and I just didn't see the value in doing that.
Hey everybody, Kill Taylor here, back at it again with another video. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos, and thank you for pushing me over 250 subscribers. Thank you so much. It seems to me that Gen Z is buying more homes at a younger age than millennials did or boomers did. Is it amazing? I think so. Let's get to the video.
In 2023, the home ownership rate for adult Gen Zers, those 19 to 26 years old, was higher than the home ownership rate for millennials and Gen X when they were 24. The race is close though. 27.8% of 24-year-old Gen Zers are homeowners compared to 24.5% of millennials when they were the same age. Gen X had a lower rate at 23.5%.
I'm so happy with buying a home, and in the moment I didn't know if I was making the right call. Who knows the bad things that can happen if you really don't make ends meet after you buy a home, but fortunately I did get through it, and I think I'm in a way better place now.
Gen Z makes up only 3% of home buyers. This generation is entering homeownership with the lowest income and are unlikely to be married or have children under 18 in their household. In 2023, almost 3/4 of Gen Zers said they plan to buy a home within 6 years, even though the market is tough for buyers.
It is an incredibly difficult housing market right now. We have very limited housing inventory, and we have had very limited housing inventory for a long period of time. It's pushed up home prices at the same time that interest rates are at a higher point than they have been in the last few years.
So how is Gen Z affording homes sooner than their elders could? And what implications will that have for the housing market and U.S. economy?
I'm just going to say this. I believe that more Gen Zers have seen the mistakes that we as millennials made, that the Gen Xers made, and even boomers have made. So they're looking at the mistakes that we made, and they're saying, you know what? If I get in early, then things would be better. Because in my opinion, most Gen Zers, they're not trying to be working till 65. They're not having that. So they're working hard in their 20s and possibly they're going to be in their 30s, and they're going to be grinding to make sure that they pay off their homes and so that they can live the life that they want to live. That's what I think.
In January 2021, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate hit a record low.
I signed less than 3% on my mortgage, which is, an astronomical low. That's historic. So I probably will never give that up. I won't buy until either I don't need a mortgage, I can make an equity transaction.
Gen Z was looking like they were doing better than millennials, better than Gen X, because they were buying homes at a faster rate. But I think a lot of that had to do with how low interest rates were during those years, and remote work opening up more possibilities for Gen Zers to buy homes in places that are more affordable.
I had just turned 21 years old.
Bingo. Bingo. Wonderful. Wonderful what you just said. A combination of the pandemic, plus the low interest rates, plus being able to work remote. That trifecta made it like a no-brainer for a lot of Gen Zers who were coming into the workforce to say, you know what, I'm gonna buy now. Very smart, very smart.
When I bought my home.
Dominic purchased his first home in October 2020 for about $200,000. He previously rented it while attending nearby Stockton University.
I did not want to pay over $1,200 a month to live on campus, and I just didn't see the value in doing that. During that time, with the mortgage rates, it was cheaper for me to buy a home than it was to live on campus.
Most Gen Zers were making their purchases in the Midwestern
Smart man. Very, very smart man.
Region. Areas like Lincoln, Nebraska, Toledo, Ohio, South Bend, Indiana, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and Eugene, Springfield, Oregon were popular with Gen Z homebuyers. About 28% of homeowners in Lincoln, Nebraska are part of Generation Z. Gen Z may be moving there because the median property value was nearly $200,000 in 2022, while the national average was around $500,000 that same year. Gen Z
What in the world? $500,000 the national average in 2022. That's a no-brainer. I'm gonna move somewhere. If I can move somewhere in Nebraska and have a remote job where I don't have to be in the office, hell yeah, I'll do that. And I'll blend right in. I will blend right in. Shoot, I would. That's what I would do. It's very smart, very, very smart. And look at some of these places: Nebraska, I believe that's Indiana, Ohio, Alabama. Listen, us young people, we're looking at peace of mind. That's what young people are looking at. They're not looking at all being in the trendy area. Yes, some of them are, but a lot of them are saying, you know what? I could be in the trendy area when my house is paid off. I could be in the trendy area when I don't have to work so hard. I could be in the trendy area when I know my savings is good, my investments is good. Then I can go and play. Gen Z is doing something different. They're making good moves.
Z also bought homes in places like Virginia Beach, Virginia, Cincinnati, Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, St. Louis, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. The typical home purchased by Gen Z in these areas cost $255,000 or less in 2022.
Gen Z buyers.
So the typical home costs more than half what the average home cost in America in that same year. Amazing. Amazing. Good job. Very good.
Are purchasing at the lowest household incomes of all home buyers out there. So they're making the most financial sacrifices, but they're also making compromises on the home. So maybe the condition or the age of the home.
When they were younger, millennials were more inclined to live in urban areas. Cities like Boston, San Francisco, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. had a high share of 18 to 24-year-old homebuyers in the mid-2010s. But millennials faced the Great Recession when they entered the housing market in the late 2000s. Because of those housing barriers, millennials were more likely to stay in their parents' home for a longer time than previous generations.
Gen Z has learned from millennials before them. They've learned about student loan debt. They're weighing their pros and cons when they go to college, and they're being financially savvy when they think about where they want to place their money and what they want to do with it. And it seems to be housing.
While some Gen Zers
very smart, they see the mistakes that we made. They see the mistakes. Go away to school and spend all this money, get in student loan debt to go and party. Because let's be honest, that's what people want to do. You want to go away to school to live it up, go to the Copacabana and stuff like that, and go and drink and go to Miami and then welcome to Miami. No, you don't need all of that. You better off putting that same money in a house. Congratulations, Gen Z. You are doing what needs to be done.
bought homes. There are more living at home with their parents. 31% of Gen Z live in their parents' home currently. Meanwhile, boomers, those born between 1946 and 1964, began buying homes during the 1970s and early 1980s, when the 30-year fixed mortgage spiked over 18%. During 1970, when the oldest boomer was 24, the majority of U.S. homeowners in a 2 or more person household under 25 lived in the southern region. In addition to the easy interest rate environment housing advantage, some Gen Zers were able to get a head start from their family members. More than 36% of Gen Z and millennials who plan to purchase are expecting their family to help them with the down payment.
I had my parents co-sign on the mortgage because at that age, regardless of your credit, you pretty much have to have a co-signer, and I understand that not everybody has that opportunity.
If a Gen Z member was in a good economic position, they had a job, or they had help from family to afford a home, and they were able to buy a home, then they made out really well because home values went up considerably from 2021 to where we are now.
An average American.
That's so true. That's so true. And shout out to a lot of the family members who help people get homes. My family did it for me. 2016 when I wanted to buy a home. I was saving to buy a home since 2010, and it all accumulated in 2016 when family gave me my shot to buy a home. And that's how we should do it. We should help the younger generation, not just saying, okay, we want to stay in this house, this, that, and third. No, how about, you might have to sell the house and downsize so that you can use some of that money to help your children. And that's very smart. I like that. I really, really like what they said, because like he said, he wouldn't have been able to buy the house without his parents co-signing. And that's greatly understandable. But guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video in the description so you guys can check it out. Shout out to CNBC. They always make very good content, and they give your boy opportunities to react to it. So I really appreciate that. But guys, we have to understand that a couple of years ago, 2020, not a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, interest rates were hella low. So like, they had an opportunity to buy, and right now with interest rates high, it's sad because you got these high interest rates, but then also at the same time, homes is also going up. So it used to be with the interest rates are high, you have the coming down of the home prices, but now we don't have that anymore. We have this type of conundrum that we're in right now. So a lot of people cannot buy at this moment in time because of high interest rates. But depending on who becomes president, aka Uncle Trump, he is saying that low interest rates or lower interest rates is what he wants. So we'll see what happens, guys. Shout out to this guy who bought his house early. Shout out to all the Gen Zers. Shout out to all the homeowners who are doing their thing, making their moves, and making sure that they're building that foundation in those communities, loving those communities, raising your families, and doing what needs to be done so that you can be a great person and your family can grow up in an environment that you can know that they're good. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. I would appreciate if you found this video informative. Like the video. That would really help me out. Appreciate that. Make some comments. Tell me, how do you feel? Tell me if you are a Gen Z and you purchased a house, or millennial, or boomer. Let me know. Or Gen X. I'm not going to forget about Gen X's. Let me know how, if you have a house or you bought a house during the pandemic and you are making quality moves now. And last but not least, if you're not subscribed to this channel, I greatly appreciate that you do subscribe. Reason why? I'm a new YouTuber and I'm trying to grow, but I can only grow with your help. Guys, there's some videos that pop up here, and I believe one here. I don't know, but I really appreciate if you can give those videos a watch. Till next time, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be safe. I love you. Take care. Peace.